What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the channel. Today we have a couple of brand new knives to check out coming into us from Off Grid Knives. If you're not familiar with Off Grid, they are a USA owned and run company who does a lot of amazing things in and out of the knife community. Today we're taking a look at the new Scorpion V3. These were just released and they are available. I will have them linked down below in the description. So I just pulled these out of the mailer and I am ecstatic to check these out. Let's just start with one and get a look at this thing because I can't take it anymore. So we are looking at the new Scorpion V3, great packaging, and this is the new Scorpion V3. We're looking at best tech for the OEM. They also deal with Taiwan a lot, but this is going to be best tech for the OEM on these, which is a great thing. Now, the Scorpion V2 originally came out in M390. For the V3s, Carry and Off Grid have went with Magnacut on these. Now, I believe the HRC that Best Tech does is 62-4. I believe that's commonly what they have done pretty much all year long. And then this version has a beautiful gray finish on that clip point harpoon style blade, as Off Grid calls it. We're looking at a full titanium frame with some weaved carbon fiber there as inlays, and they are separated. That looks really good. We have some jimping up the spine along with a titanium backspacer here, a nice long row of jimping up the spine of the blade, and then we are looking at inlays here on the lock side as well with a nice deep carry clip that's recessed and nice and minimal. Got the little emblem there, looks clean and is matching. Everything looks great. And we are going to have the option there to carry this thing left-handed. And they do include a titanium filler tab there, which is great execution. We have great exposure to that lock bar with a nice big chamfer, and the action is ridiculous. These are going to be a flipper deployment as usual, and Off Grid does an amazing job with their flippers. Let's go ahead and see what this thing is all about, and we'll dive into some specs on these things. Off Grid often does a couple of different versions of their knives. Typically we see black and then we see coyote, but in the case of the Scorpion here, we're going to be looking at a grayed out one and a blacked out one. So those are going to be the two available options right now. You have the black coated blade with black titanium, and then we have the gray blade with the gray finished titanium. We're going to have the exact same scenario here on this knife with the carbon fiber and the reversible clip. Very minimal hardware. This is going to be a great size knife right here. Woohoo! Speaking of that, let's go ahead and get a couple of specs on this thing. Definitely over 8 inches. So we're looking at 3 3/4 of cutting edge, 4 inches of blade length, and to that very tail, we are looking at 8 3/4. So let's calm down here a little bit. We'll get a couple of comparisons up. We have the Vosteed Raccoon up top here and the full-size Militol, and you're going to see the Scorpion just tower over both of them, which is impressive because the Militol is a pretty good-sized knife. Next up, we have the Spyderco Para 3 up top, and then we have the CJRB Frac down here at the bottom, and that's the one I usually bring out to tower over everything, right? But not in this case. The Scorpion's not quite as big as the Frac is, but it is pretty close and venturing on the size of the CJRB Frac. And for the bug out boys, we'll bring out the full size bug out here, and you'll see the Scorpion just tower over that and the Para 3. Now, we won't have any weight difference between the two, or we shouldn't anyway. Boy, I don't know what to guess with this one. Oh, so we got, I don't know, 5.4. 5.4. Oh, damn. 5.2. Not too bad. Yeah, they are exactly the same. As far as what these will look like in the pocket, you have a beautifully executed pocket clip there. These are going to carry nice and deep in the pocket and look very good. They do an excellent job with their pocket clips. Even on their more affordable models, which they have some very good knives that are down below $100, but they also have some premium stuff as well. All very good execution. And as I said, there are some designs that are done in Taiwan, and there are also some done by Bestech. So either way, you're going to be getting a very, very solid product from Off-Grid. So let's see what kind of edge Bestech puts on these things. Razor blades. Woohoo! Yeah, and I'll admit it, I'm a pretty big fanboy for Off-Grid knives. They kind of stand out on their own to me. They just have their own thing about them. I've often compared them to, whether you like it or not, I don't really care, but I've often compared them to Spyderco in essence. And you know, it makes sense. They have their knives made in Taiwan. They also have, you know, a U.S. background in Off-Grid is an USA company. Spyderco is also, you know, partially a USA-owned company, or they are, but they have other factories elsewhere, right? But basically, the idea is if you want a solid cutting tool that's going to just perform, do well, it can do all the fun, fidgety stuff, you know, but the main idea behind the design is to work for you and be a good cutting tool. And that is one thing Off-Grid does amazingly well. You know, some people don't like that maybe they're only flippers. I don't mind it at all because they are executed perfectly. I mean, the detents are absolute money. They're designed well to the point where deployment is a breeze with them. And like I said, they have a couple different models that are sporting different flippers, and they're just all very well executed. Now, for the end here, we're going to check the lockups on both of these, but then I'm going to bring out the version 2 as well for the people who are interested to see maybe some of the differences. And I'm also going to bring out the new Mamba V3 that they just released a couple months ago. If you want to stick around for that, we'll do some comparisons and some lock tests. So let's see what we are looking at here. We did check this one. It was perfectly centered. I am not expecting any issues from Off-Grid or Bestech. We're going to be looking at fairly early lockup on that particular one, but is not a cause for concern at all. Very, very good. No play here. And the good thing about this is we get 2 examples to check. Check edges, check locks, fit and finish, all that sort of thing. So it's very good. So let's see what we got here. And we're not trying to see if, you know, we can nail this into a tree and use it as a step or baton this through a log. We're just merely trying to make sure that the blade tang is not going to slip off that lock. That is the only idea there. It is not to hit the camera. It is only to test the lock. Very good. Very good. Good. And that is that. Just trying to make sure that the lock is not going to slip off the tang there. And in my experience, every off-grid that I have tested, which is 94% of their entire catalog of knives, have not had a single failure yet. So you can no longer get these, but this is the version 2 here in M390. And we'll see some subtle changes in these. There's nothing huge going on here as far as changes, but there are some subtle differences, and definitely for the better. We can still see the intense jimping there, but where it was stopped here on the version 2, it extends, which is excellent. I would say even carry, run that shit all the way out. But that's, you know, very minor, slim pickings there. We can see good access on both of these. Fit and finish will be top notch, best tech like. But that is the version 2 there. We can see an added filler tab. The blades are similar, very similar, but some slight difference. Not a whole lot though. And I know on the website, I think he has, you know, the changes that were made in regards from version 2 to version 3. So if you're interested in a more intricate description as to what was changed, the steel is going to be the, you know, that'll be the big one there, of course. M390 to Magnacut all day long. I would take the Magnacut, no question about it, for me personally. And then here we have the off-grid knives Mamba V3, which was just released a couple of weeks back, couple months ago. Couple versions of that are available as well. We have the gray blade and the coyote. There's also a completely blacked out version. As I said earlier, they typically like the FDE and gray combo, which I really love, but I also like the gray on gray finish as well. So either which way, you get some really cool options. You have this really cool texturing done and just great execution on these. I call this chainsaw jimping, not because it hurts you, but it just looks that way and it functions very, very good. And yes, the Mamba V3 is a very large knife, and it is available right now along with the version 3 Scorpions off-grid knives. Right at the end of the year, just throwing a massive haymaker and knocking it out, no question about it. These are awesome. Let me know what you guys think of the new Scorpions. Let me know what you think of the Mamba V3s. And if you have any experience with off-grid knives, let us know down in the comments what your experience has been like. Love hearing from you guys. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. That helps push the video out there to more people, and I really appreciate it. If you're new to my channel, I release daily knife and EDC content just like this. Make sure you're subscribed and you ring the bell. That'll notify you anytime I release new content. I'll put a couple of new videos up on your screen. Go check out one of those. Have yourself an awesome day. Thank you all again for watching. I will catch you on the next one.